So piece by piece, we are putting the MX5 back to its original glory, and in today's episode, we are tackling the cooling system. Today, we are working on Morgan's MX5 and upgrading his cooling system. Quite a bit of work involved for us and also yourselves. Yes, you at home watching, you are also involved. Your job today is to hit that subscribe button. Helps keep you up to date with all things Project B and Lemon to Lambo. But before we get into that, Morgan, your MX5.
Yep,
It needs
so
a cooling system.
It needs a cooling system. There's nothing wrong with the cooling system at the moment.
It just came with it.
Yeah, it just came with it. Everything came with the car.
If you hadn't watched the previous episode, Morgan's MX5, kind of polar opposite to my MX5, came with a ton of parts. And we are just installing them.
Yeah, so we've already done the brakes. We did the oil filter, that kind of stuff. Today we're doing obviously the cooling system, which is the thermostat, coolant flush, I guess, because we're doing the new radiator as well. So yeah.
Sit back, relax, enjoy our struggles. Wasn't actually that much of a struggle.
No.
As we upgrade this MX5's cooling system.
Radiator is in. MX5 is not overheating. Luckily, it wasn't before.
Not
and
leaking.
Isn't now. Isn't leaking as well. Yeah, it's solid. Thermostat's in.
So big tick. That's done. Really, there is quite a bit of suspension stuff with the MX5.
Yep.
I don't think we're doing that.
I think, yeah, at this point, I think we're going to try and
diagnose the noise.
Yeah, diagnose noise, fix the things that are obviously wrong with it, being the noise, which quite well could be all those suspension parts.
Yeah, well, at the moment, engine's healthy.
Yeah.
It drives fine, just there's a noise. And it's not until you get over about 80, 90 Ks.
Yeah, and it's like a wobbly, it's almost like, I feel like it's a buckled wheel, is what it kind of feels like.
Kind of like the sound your washing machine makes if it's like got a full load.
Yeah, now that could be the wheel bearing. I've had no experience with the wheel bearing, so I'm not sure.
A lot more vibration.
Okay.
I had a wheel bearing in my 180 or previous 180. bit more vibration. Also, the owner that you bought it off said that it was rear left.
Yeah, the rear left wheel bearing, which it could be, but it does feel like it's the front left though.
It feels like we both sat in it, driven it, and definitely we both point to the front left. Having said that, when we did do the brakes, the one rotor that we didn't film was the rear left, and that was quite corroded. So there is a very good chance as well that that side's just pretty bad. We saw it with the rotor, and the wheel bearing could be the same, so we'd have to then jump into that. But before we do that, we do have an idea on testing it. It just so happens that Morgan has some aftermarket wheels that are exactly the same stud pattern as the MX5. So what we'll do, we won't film a video on it, but we'll slap those on the MX5s, take it for a little whip around the street, and see if the noise goes. If it doesn't, then we can eliminate wheels entirely, and then we've just got wheel bearings, which then we'll have to delve into that. There was a comment, potentially a diff whine. It's not really whining.
It's not whining. It's just very. It's a rotation like out of alignment almost.
Trust me, we know what a diff whine sounds like because we had an Evo 7 and that had diff whine. So we don't think, I mean, it could be something related to the diff, but at this stage, we're working through a process of elimination. One of the cheapest, easiest, because it's free, ways that we can tick off and just rule something out are the wheels. They are aftermarket. There is no brand on them. They do look a bit...
They look a little like on the cheap side, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is just as simple as a buckled wheel, which I'm half hoping for, but then again...
Wheel shopping.
Yeah, we can wheel shop, which is awesome. But then, like, wheels aren't cheap. So, like, on one side it's like, yeah, another side's like, no, so I don't know. We'll see.
So, in the next video of Morgan's MX5, it'll either be we're replacing the wheel bearing.
Yep. Which I don't really want to do.
Neither do
I.
But
if it's the problem, we'll have to do it.
Or we are putting them up for sale and we are reviewing them.
Yep.
So sit back and relax, wait for those videos, and you'll know pretty soon whether or not we fixed it and or it's a wheel bearing.
Yep. Or there's probably more to it. I hope not.
Yeah.
That's another thing we didn't actually think about. What if it's more?
Yeah, well, if it's not wheels, it's not wheel bearing, and we can rule out the diff, I don't know what it is. Yeah. Anyway, thanks heaps for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Comment below which MX5 is your favorite. We are going to be doing the poll shortly. Once Morgan's MX5 is a bit up to speed and also registered, so we can drive them together.
Yeah, and I think maybe after the review, so you can get an idea of maybe
both of them. And I had a look at the date. Do you want to know what is this week?
What's today?
27th. Do you know what is on the 1st?
Is it me?
No. Our local drag race has got a test and tune. If Morgan can get his MX5 registered, we could go to a test and tune and drag race both the MX5s and see which one's faster, which would then, I reckon, that would be the challenge of the 0 to 60.
Yep.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. We could be drag racing them. Oh man, I'd love to drag race them.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting.
The thing is, mine needs an alignment bad, so I got a few things.
Already been aligned.
I got a few things I'll need to try and get done, but yeah.
So yes, fingers crossed that we can make that happen. That'll be absolutely awesome and it'd be great for you guys to watch. If you haven't already, comment below which is your favorite. Hit that like button, helps us with the YouTube algorithm, Lord peoples. And thanks heaps for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode of Project B.